Right.
I mean, there's a lot of funny stuff in your films. I remember the first time I met you years ago, There Will Be Blood had come out. You know, I really loved the film, but I thought it was very funny. Mm-hmm. And I thought a lot of the lines in there and the way that Daniel Day-Lewis delivered them was really hilarious. And the comedy that I like most is people saying things in a strange way a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. Funny voices. Mm-hmm. That's all it takes to cheer me up. Mm-hmm. And he's got a real genius for that. And so on the one hand, obviously, there's a lot of very tragic and moving stuff. The relationship with his son is so heartbreaking. But then it culminates in these scenes where he's just bellowing these mad things. The whole milkshake scene,
mm-hmm.
you know, and he's got this kind of crazy voice, which is on the verge of parody anyway, and it's fun to impersonate. And then he's saying this crazy stuff. I drink your milkshake. I drink it up. And it was so fun to say it and watch it, you know.
Uh-huh.
You must be aware of that, right? Or is that insulting?
I didn't think it was funny at all when we were doing it.
Did you really not?
No, I did. Of course I did. I mean, I'm probably a good director and a bad director because I'm a good audience and I will start laughing. I remember that day laughing and stifling it, but he can hear me laughing, so it's probably only egging him on to get bigger.
Does he not get angry? He doesn't say, I'm in my zone. I need silence. The kind of Daniel Day-Lewis version of Christian Bale freaking out about the guy in his eye line.
No, I think one time it happened on this one, and he's so used to my laughing that I started laughing, and he started to laugh a little bit when he was meant to be very serious. He was like, right, out. And I said, I know. And I had to leave the room, so I went into the hallway and let him and Leslie get on with this scene. And figured I'll just see it when they're done, because I guess there's a few type of people in the world, and I am one of those that once he starts laughing, I can't stop, and the tears start coming. In that bowling alley, that felt absurd and great. But you had a little bit more Al Pacino in the beginning. When you do I Drink Your Milkshake, it sounds exactly right, but a little bit before was a little bit scent of a woman.
Ho-ha! Okay, yeah. No, that's true.
But that's my American ear. I can you wait.
I'm finished! Is that what he says at the end?
Yeah, but do it again is, I'm finished.
It's less
I'm finished.
Declamatory, isn't it? I'm finished. Was that always going to be the last line? Did you know that was going to be such a peach of a last line?
That's in the script, yeah.
And did you have an idea of how he would deliver it?
My idea was completely different. My idea was it was much more internal, like something out of breath, and kind of to himself. And he did it the opposite, and it took me a minute. I think I remember saying to him, like, maybe just try one. This sort of goes inside a little bit. And he's like, okay. And he went even bigger. He went even louder. You have to understand the absurdity of being in that bowling alley, which was that you look around and you have all these grips and electric walking around either in their socks or with little booties on over their shoes to keep the floor clean and immaculate. And to just imagine the picture stepping back a bit with seeing all these gorillas in their socks and trying to walk carefully around Daniel with a bowling pin and Paul Dano with blood all over the place, and two of the most absurd days of my life, but really, really fun in this basement bowling alley.
Going back to Daniel's performance and the comedy elements, I mean, I was delighted that there was a lot of that same enjoyment in Phantom Thread, which again it's a serious film overall. It's not a comedy, but there are very funny moments. And again, he does a great voice. He, like Meryl Streep, I think, right, can do these voices which are really on the verge of caricature, and you can still invest in that character as a real person, not just a caricature.
Yeah.
And so he does another one. It's much softer in Phantom Thread, the character. Who named him Woodcock?
He did.
Were there other names on the table?
Arthur Dapple, but that was when it was a generic character name. Wasn't sure if he was English or not. He was just this guy named Arthur Dapple. And then that was clearly like, right, so we need something else. And he came up with it.
Yeah, so that's funny already.
That's funny already.
And then he's got his sort of soft voice. And then he's, which I can't do a good impression.
Come on, you can do it. I'm sure you can do it.
He's at there's a scene where he meets Alma, who is the star of the film, really, played by Vicky. How do you pronounce her name? Creeps. She's amazing. And she's working in a little restaurant tea room or something on the British coast, but he orders breakfast from her.
Yeah.
And it's this mad breakfast that he orders.
A Welsh rarebit.
Right.
With a poached egg on top. Not too runny. Bacon. Scones. Jam. Not strawberry. Tea. Do you have lapsang? Yes. A pot of lapsang. And some sausages.
That's right. It's like Mr. Creosote. Do you ever see The Meaning of Life, the Monty Python
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I couldn't. Is that his name, Mr. Creosote?
Yeah. Shove it in. But he's not like that. He's very neat and dapper and tidy. And yet he orders this crazy breakfast. You feel as if it's going to go on and on and on.
That was a classic case of trying not to laugh. And he... Just one combination of him saying cream and butter perfectly landed. And I felt myself about to laugh out loud and blow the take. And maybe he felt me doing that. And he realized just how perfectly he landed cream and butter back to back. And he laughed. He broke. Which is always the best. When you get Daniel to break, you're like, yes. I think a lot of that stuff is based on when were writing There'll Be Blood, we would get together for breakfast. And that is a close approximation of my breakfast order. Like, I would order these monumental breakfasts, and he was always so impressed and would laugh at me. It's just become an absurd joke between us now. It's like these large breakfast orders.
Yes.
I eat the breakfast of like 10 men.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what it is, and then I don't really eat the rest of the day. I don't eat meat, but in the days when I used to, it would be bacon, sausages.
What's his voice like? Can you do his voice in Phantom Thread? Sort of very soft and precise, yes. Isn't it? But it's not that sibilant.
Not strawberry.
Not strawberry. And like a brisket of veal served on top of 2 eggs that have been teased very badly, and they're inside a hamburger with a Snickers coming out of the top, but the Snickers needs to be very slightly melted, and there should be an angry girl nearby who steals the Snickers.
Uh-huh. That sounds good.
That's one for the DVD extra. Do you have a blooper reel on there?
I could do quite a collection of Daniel's blooper reel. We do have one that I think it's on YouTube of him making himself laugh.
Oh, okay.
On There'll Be Blood.
Oh, I'll seek that out.
It's really good. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a deleted scene, an outtake from There'll Be Blood, where he makes it through the whole take without laughing, but as soon as cut is called, you just see him collapse with enjoyment at his own insanity. It's really kind of great.